pool of players in Goa, both boys and girls?
Right now, I think because of what we have done for the last almost around 6-7 years, the pool at the grassroots is really increasing.
Okay.
Because we have started in quite a few new schools, a lot of programs that are going on. I don't think very much is done in terms of maybe the organization, but a lot of coaches have got into the field and we have had a lot of coaches training programs.
Correct.
Because of that, a lot of grassroots have
Ask you
come
about
in.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. Tell me.
So, how do you pick your coaches and what is that? What is like you coaching?
So as of now, we rely heavily on the PE teachers. Okay. We have senior players who are coaches. We had done the WFC Level 1 training program in Goa around 5 years ago. We are doing again this year.
Okay.
So just to give you an understanding, basically most of the school PE teachers have done their BPA. Whereas those who want to enter into sports do their NIS and MS. Now in the whole of Goa, I don't think there are very many who have done that.
Okay.
We got a couple of coaches who have done their certificate courses through NIS.
Okay.
But as far as the federation and association is concerned, you require the WABC coaching certifications, which are very tough.
Okay.
Though they are just 1 week,
Okay.
but they are very intensive and passing percentage as normally is almost 75-80%.
Okay.
So what happens? Not many go through.
Okay.
So as of now in Goa, level 3 I'm the only one. Level 1 we have quite a few, almost around 5 or 6.
Okay.
Hopefully this time when we've asked the federation to conduct the training out here in Goa, we are asking them to allow us to put 10 coaches.
Okay.
So we should get a lot of level 1 coaches trained.
Okay.
In the meantime, we're just pushing different coaches who are interested, players who are interested to get inside. People are doing their BPI and have played basketball. We're asking them to join.
Yeah.
So that's the way we are building up. So at least people have some knowledge.
Okay.
If there are some seniors who are coming back home and they're trying to help out, we're very happy.
Okay. So, what are the programs you're having? School levels? Or what is
So
it?
basically, about 2-3 years ago, we had asked at the AGM all the clubs to adopt schools.
Okay.
There are quite a few schools that have been adopted by clubs.
Correct.
Most prominent in the north is actually Sonics. Don Bosco also have Don Bosco.
Yes, yes.
Then we have also IMCA that has taken up one or two schools. So we have at least a few schools catered by the club because those become feeders to them.
Correct.
In the South Goa, as an association, as club, we have gone to quite a few schools. In fact, we are going to almost about 8 or 9 schools.
Okay. Okay.
What we have here in South Goa as part of GBA, what we had done was have an in-school program
All right.
where during the PE class we conduct a training for half an hour.
Okay.
Then from there we pick up the good players and we ask them to come before after class depending on the school. So every school have their own program. We don't want to disturb them. But at least after the in-school program we realize a good number of children come.
Okay.
So technically at least here in South we are focusing right from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th.
Okay.
They're not going up
That's
to
all.
the...
So then there's no college level. What's happening?
What happened college
over there?
level, it's very difficult to have a serious training program because not many will remain with you. Whereas if they are at the grassroots,
Okay.
then they will be already formed. By the
Okay.
time, if you even physiologically, most of them are already well formed.
Okay.
So even if somebody is really interested, you can't really get him to a high
No,
level.
no, I'm talking about from school level to college level.
Yeah, so most of these people who go up to the college level, we have the
You have
training at
them
them. Yeah,
as well.
those trainings we have.
So recently the GC had organized a summit
Okay.
a couple days ago.
Okay.
What kind of support do you expect from the government for basketball? Being a president of
As of now, the most difficult part that we have also asked is infrastructure. We have facilities, but we have no access. We have asked a lot now. After a lot of discussion, they have given us the access to the Navanish Parikar Stadium,
Okay.
but that too only on 3 days of the week.
Okay.
Now, every time there is an event, there is a competition again, we don't have a regular place.
Correct.
Second is we don't have enough coaches by the government. Okay, so even if the coaches who are there, I've had a discussion with a few of the coaches saying that you all are government coaches and you all are stuck to one school. And we are the ones who are non-government and we are going to 5.
Yes.
It should have been the other way around. So basically, if you are going to a school that is because you are appointed by the government and you are getting a decent salary.
Yes.
Now with all the trainings that are happening and coaches and people, I must be frank with you, are ready to pay you for a coaching.
Yes.
So it becomes a regular business.
Yes.
Okay, but then you need to be serious. So we don't have a system where at least there are a couple of coaches of the government very seriously in quite a few schools. Then it becomes a help for the other coaches as well.
Have you thought of a plan to make sure that it is more professional in Goa basketball?
Yeah, very much. In fact, the plan has come more than 5 or 6 years ago. We started with grassroots. Then we are trying to push them up. So if they are really playing well, we have camps that are only for those who are good.
Okay.
Then we are taking a couple of these students out, or the players out of the state, because the state level is not that good.
Yes.
So what we are doing is we had camps with Maharashtra, we've had camps with Kerala, we've had camps with Hyderabad. We have paired with coaches from other states to come here.
Yeah.
So they also get a feel of how different coaches coach. So at least from there we get an elite pool. So whenever we go to outside the state, most of them know it is 8 hours a day. Whereas when we are coming here to come for 2 hours training, they are already getting exhausted.
Yes.
So we are hoping that it with focus on the lower age group, and we have a couple of these camps that we have exchange programs. Then we'll get a little better pool of players that will come who are playing well.
Okay.
The exposure at the national level is increasing than what it was before.
Okay. Because last year they held a national game in Goa.
That was national game.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct.
So after that, did you find any like a surge in interest in basketball or?
There has been. In fact, South Goa, many people, but they could only watch. Okay.
Okay.
The interest was there because the games have been held here and we got to see really good
Yes,
games.
yes.
In fact, the final was a real nail biter. So, in fact, many of them really got involved. The other exposure which I saw is just because the rule of the government where they allowed us to take outstation players, provided their base in Goa.
Goa, yes.
So we were lucky that we had the INS Navy close by. So we got about 3 or 4 players from there. And I even saw the difference of the local players playing along with them. Okay, more in terms of discipline, more in terms of the nature of the game, and of course the rigidity of getting into training. We are not that much used to training. The Navy guys, how they come for 1 hour, they are doing their warm-ups, they are running around, they are having very heavy drills. So it was a good exposure for our players. So in terms of that, the ones who attended the camp, I'm sure they've learned a lot. Okay, it is spreading on to the others.
From these programs that you have with our station coaches and all, what have you as a president learned from these, like to imbibe them into your
So first, I'm secretary, not president.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Secondly, what happens for me is I have also done my level 1, level 2, level 3.
Okay.
So I have met many of these coaches at those programs at national level. Okay, so what happens is I have a rapport along with them. So for me, it's an exchange program. So they call me, I call them here.
Yeah.
And more in terms for me, for these players to know that, the outside coaches do coach like this. So they need to have a little change in mentality. Most of the coaches here in Goa, they are not trained as coaches. They have been very good players. Okay, but I won't term them as coaches because at the end of the day, the best player doesn't become the best teacher. Okay, so you need a little form of training at least as far as coaching is concerned. So we are hoping more the number of coaches that get trained over a period of time, it becomes better. Okay, as of now, we are in talks with a group called, India on Track, which we've had a couple of meetings. India on Track. They are the one who run the whole coaching program for NBA Schools Project of India.
Okay.
They are not the junior NBA run by Reliance. So they have a little serious program. So hopefully if they come on board, then we should have a training program for all the PE teachers, and they have online training for every 15 days.
Okay.
So they will have a select group of schools where they will follow up the coaching, and they have a lot of programs. So one way we are tying up with them, hoping that they will run the program here in Goa that will help us along.
One of the points at which happened at the GFDPC Football Summit is that they have a lot of coaches. However, they are not able to involve the coaches with the schools. So you said that you are tied up with the schools, and your coaches are training across 5 schools. How did you manage that?
Okay, let me be frank with you. Initially, when we asked the principals, and we told them, they were very interested. But then we realized the PE teacher is not involved. If the PE teacher has no interest, nothing happens.
Yeah. Yes.
You may have the order from the top. Then we started attacking or involving the PE teachers and telling them, why don't you start in the PE class? A lot of have a resistance because they want the PE class to be done the way they want it. So what we told them is, see, if you do a proper program, okay, the grassroots basics, any PE teacher can handle. You don't require a professional. So then the next option was, what can we do in half an hour? So then we told them, we will do it and show you for half an hour. You stand there. Then we'll get you involved. So basically it was like for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. We go on a particular day and we conduct the PE class. We tell them, please don't tell them somebody's coming home. So exactly the same class. Don't call students out. So then when they see the whole class getting involved with the basic drills and games you do, and the children are getting involved and many of them pick up, then we ask them, how many of you want to play? Then you get a much sizable number. And then if you do it at the class time without disrupting their schedule, they are also very happy. So I said we are not coming here to inspect you and correct you and tell you this. We are come to help you. Don't want to help? It's okay. So we've managed to get at least around 7-8 schools on board like that. So what we said now, if you don't have a ground, we can always call you to another space and the children can come there. If you can get at least 8 or 10 children trained in another center, starting from your school, you already have your school team. Then if you have a group in the school, they always influence the others. So basically we have tried to move in by speaking to the PE teachers first and move out. If we have not got that much feedback, then we have not gone forward. So that's how we have moved as of now.
Okay. So how was the selection process today?
Today was good because we have already selected 12 of 13 players from the state championships we've had long back. So that's what we do. This was like for those of them who knew that they are not selected and still want to try. So the girls, we've got almost quite a few number. So now this is more than 20. We have to select only 6 from there. And the boys was a much bigger number. So hopefully we'll have one exchange program as part of the camp. So they will be going out and playing in another state. But depends on how many of them are winning. But the camp will carry on all the same.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Best of luck
Thank
for
you.
Tony.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.